Hi, and welcome back to Yoga with Tim. Today we're going to have a practice that focuses on engaging your legs to help to access the core muscles. So before I learned anatomy, I didn't really understand how your hips, your glutes, and your legs help to support your spine. But if we activate them well in the standing poses, they should be able to activate the core and help us to get stronger and more flexible in a healthy way. Today we're going to focus by doing a few exercises to help to make sure we're working these legs right. So I'm going to recommend that you have a block for this first exercise, and we're going to start off lying in the back with the block in between the thighs. So let's just learn how to engage the legs in a neutral position. Set your feet down onto the floor, and as you exhale, start to lift your hips up off the floor. Press your shoulder heads down, and now as you turn the thighs so it feels like the inner thigh is even against the block, now I want you to engage the glutes. So you're going to squeeze your buttocks towards the backs of your knees and contract your hamstrings. So pretend like you're trying to pull the knees towards the buttocks towards the knees. But if you can feel your groins up against the block, try not to let them harden and squeeze into it. Then slowly lower your buttock back down and exhale, lift back up. Hug the block with your inner thighs. Feel the legs squeeze, feel the glutes squeeze. Contract the hamstrings and press your shoulder heads down so the chest is open, and slowly lower back down. Again, lift up, feel the backs of the legs turn on, dig your heels into the mat, chest open, lower back down. 3 more. Two. 3. Then lower your hips down, take that block, put it at the front of your mat on the medium height. Now we're going to practice that same exercise but with straight legs. And now if you have a second block, you can put it in between your thighs again. But otherwise, I just want you to try to use the memory of the feeling of the block, and we'll try to engage the legs as if you had a block in between your thighs again. So the thighs rotate inward as you lift up, so that the knees are pointing straight up and your toes are pointing straight up. Then engage the backs of the legs, engage the glutes, but without tucking your butt. Stretch your hips out of your back, stretch the sides of the chest away from the hips, and press your shoulders down, upper arms down, and then lower back down. Exhale to lift up. Feel the backs of the legs turn on and burn. Feel the legs squeeze, but make sure that you're not thrusting your groins to the ceiling. They release downward as you squeeze in. And back down. 4 more times. 3, 2, squeeze at the top, squeeze those leg muscles. And 1, feel the glutes, hamstrings engage, and lower back down. Then hug your knees into your chest, roll yourself up into a seated position, and then come onto your hands and your knees. So with your hands right underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, stretch your right leg back behind you and work that right leg just like you practiced. The inner thigh is now going to spin up to the ceiling. The hamstring, the glute moves towards the buttocks. Then take your left arm forward. Now as you engage your glute, pick up the back foot up off the mat, but focus not how high you can reach it. Instead, can you keep the firming of the buttock action as you stretch? Lower your hand and your knee, change sides, stretch the left leg, rotate the thigh, pelvis in neutral, then take the arm forward and engage the glute as you lift up. You should feel your belly lifts up when the leg turns on like that. Lower and change sides, now lift the leg, feel the buttock turn on, change sides, change sides, change sides. Then lower that down. And now when you come into plank, so let's just go through cat-cow 2 rounds. Round your back as you exhale. Inhale, arch. Exhale to round your back. Inhale into a back bend, sit bones up, heart forward. Then come right into neutral. So you're not sinking, you're not rounding. And then feel your shoulder blades on your back. Step one leg back and turn on that leg like we've been practicing. Press your middle 3 knuckles down, lift your inner shoulders, and then step the other leg back. So now turn on those legs. Feel both of the legs like they're hugging a block, the groin spinning up, the glutes turned on, your blades come onto your back, and the neck is long, lengthen all 4 sides of the neck. Instead of jutting the chin forward, pretend like you're holding an orange between your chin and your chest. Now maintaining that, engage your abs and raise your right leg up. Squeeze that buttock like we practiced. Change legs, raise your left leg up. Change legs. And change legs. Good. Then from here, as you keep stretching down into the hands evenly and lifting the inner arms, inner shoulders, start to glide back into your down dog. It's super hot right now, so I think Ollie's just gonna chill here the whole time. He's staying cool. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Put a little bend in your knees as you let your head drop. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins. Press your hands into the shins. Feel the back muscles, the lats, pull down towards your buttocks. Scoop up your navel, reach your heart forward. And exhale, fold. Really important to, oh, I spoke too soon, he's over it. To develop strong posture muscles that when you get the flat back, you feel the back muscles turn on. So push your hands into your shins, feel the lats engage, scoop up your belly, reach your heart. And then exhale, fold deeper. Then inhale, come all the way up to stand, raise your arms up, and bring your hands to prayer. Okay, now we're gonna practice a little lunge sequence. So step your left foot back about 3.5 feet, bring your hands to prayer. As you inhale, I want you to drop your back knee down slowly to the floor, but make sure that your right knee is tracking straight ahead. Your outer hip buttock should turn on, but feel both of the groins release down. Then push into your right heel and stand back up. Step the leg back and lower slowly. Now feel that outer hip grab. You should see that your knee is tracking with your second, third toe. Push into the right foot and come up. Let's do that a few more times just to make sure we're turning on the glute med to help to support us. Push down through your heel, pull up tall through your spine to come up. Inhale to slowly lower. Feel the glute med turn on. Grab that outer buttock back and come up. Again, inhale slowly. Pause at the bottom. Exhale, come up. Change sides. Step your right foot back and lower the knee slowly. Now just make sure that your center, ankle, knee, and hip are all lined up on your left leg, spine tall, like you're being pulled up through your crown. Come up. Inhale to slowly lower. Grab that outer hip, pin it in, and come up. 2 more. Inhale to slowly lower. Come back up. Last one. And come back up. Then release your arms to your side. So just feel, as you turn on your leg muscles, feel the heat that's coming up through your body. Feel that as you were engaging your legs, you could feel your core turning on. That's kind of cool. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Step back into plank pose, one leg at a time. Roll the inner thighs up to the ceiling, turn on the legs, blades on the back, heart open. Then stretch back into your downward facing dog. Okay, raise your right leg up from the inner thigh and grow that inner leg long as you stretch into your hands. Exhale, bring the knee to the outer right armpit and pull up. Inhale, reach back up into 3-legged dog. Exhale to the left pit. Inhale, reach back up into 3-legged dog. Exhale your knee to your chest. Step your foot up by your thumb. Come up onto your fingertips. So your glute med, your outer right buttock, is going to help to support your spine when you come up into crescent. So before we take the arms up, see if you can float one arm back, keeping the right buttock squeezed and the spine long. And then the other arm back too. So not so much squeezed as just stabilized. Then scoot from your belly without your right hip kicking to the side. Come up and raise your arms up. Grow your back inner leg longer. So the back leg is just like the bridge and the plank leg that we were working. The buttock moves down. The inner groin spins up. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Glide back into downward dog. And raise your left leg up from the inner thigh. As you exhale, bring the knee to the left hip, pull up. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale to the right pit. Inhale, back up. Exhale the knee to your chest, pull up, and step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Inhale up onto your fingertips. See that your left ankle, knee, hip are all lined up. Now hug the left hip in until it's stabilized in that line. Float one arm back, float the other arm back. So as that hip turns on, the lumbar spine will stay long, which means your core is engaged. Keeping your lumbar spine tall, lift up through the front of your pelvis, raise your arms up. Grow the back inner leg taller. Then bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. And glide back into downward dog. Walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back plank. Hold, engage abs, and raise the right leg up without sinking, twisting. Change legs, left leg up, lift out of the wrists. Change legs, right leg up. Change legs, left leg up. Set the foot down, lie on your belly. Decompress, stretch the arms all the way forward, the toes back. Now feel the legs turn on like we were practicing with the block. Buttocks, hamstrings, bend the elbows in a cactus position. Lift up and hold here, hover. Strengthening the external rotators, keep the gaze down. Then stretch your arms straight back behind you. Keep turning on those legs, scoop up your belly. Now take your arms all the way forward out in front of you, turn the thumbs up, rotate externally, turn on the buttocks, turn on the hamstrings. Then back in a cactus position. Arms straight back again, shoulders open, heart open. Then hands next to your side ribs, roll into cobra or upward facing dog. And stretch back into downward dog. Walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, Utkatasana, bend the knees, sit your hips back. Raise your arms up. Stand and release your arms down at your side. Turn to your side and take your legs wide apart. Spread your arms out. Turn your left leg in slightly, turn your right leg all the way out. Bend your right knee, but I want you to feel from your back leg, hip, and buttock, you're reaching into the four corners of your back foot. Then bring your forearm onto your thigh and take your left arm all the way over your ear. Press into your feet and come back up. Straighten your right leg and reach into triangle pose. Press into your feet and come back up. Turn your legs to the other side, bend your left knee, forearm to thigh, right arm over. Feel on your back leg, the groin releases back, the buttocks moves into the heel. Same action that you're practicing when you're lifting on the block, not quite as aggressive because you're not having to support your whole body like when you're lifting, so the muscles don't have to work as much. Come back up, straighten your leg. Now feel your left outer hip firmed in so that your butt doesn't kick out to the side as you go to reach out over the leg. That firming in action will help to keep your lumbar spine long so that you don't hang over into the pose. So the front leg is doing the glute med work. The back leg, you're doing the same work as when you're on the bridge lifts, on the block with the straight leg. And then the spine shines and the chest opens. Come back up, turn your toes in, hands on your hips, roll your shoulders open, inhale. Exhale, tip in between your legs, fold forward, set your fingers down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, come back up into a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up to stand. Turn your left leg out and step up to the top of your mat. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Then step your right foot up by your right thumb. Put a block in front of your big toe on the tall height. Now as you hold here, press down evenly into your right foot and feel that your right hip is hugged in so you have that track, the ankle, the knee, the hip. Then as you lean into your right leg and start to slide your back leg towards you, your right hip is gonna wanna kick out to the side to raise the back leg. Don't let it. Turn on your lats again so you get the flat back feeling. Scoop up your belly. Now with a strong right outer hip, lift the back leg. Use your core to come up instead of sinking into your joints. From here, bend your right knee and as smooth as you can, slide back, come up into crescent. Bring hands to prayer. Lean chest out over knee and twist. Bring your hands back down. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot all the way up by your left thumb. Then put your hands onto your block, a foot in front of your big toe. Check to make sure that your left ankle, hip, and knee are tracking. Then as you lean into that left foot, start to slide the back leg towards you, but check the hip track again. And then as you scoop up your belly and engage your core, raise your back leg up. Then bend your knee and as smooth as you can, slide back into crescent. Bring hands to prayer, lean your chest out and twist. Bring your hands back down to the mat, step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Then step your right foot all the way up by your right thumb and lower your back knee down. Come up onto your fingertips or up onto blocks. Feel the right hip hug in as you scoop up your belly. Low lunge. Hold here, or you can bend your back knee and reach back with your opposite hand for your foot. Then release your foot. Step back into downward facing dog. And change sides. Lower the back knee as you hold in the low lunge. Breathe. Then hold there or add on. Bend the back knee. Rock to the top of the kneecap and see if you can reach back with your hand. If you feel like it's pulling at the knee joint, then to back off. You should just keep both hands down. You want to feel the stretch come up the quad and maybe even to the hip flexor. Release your foot. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Then set both knees down onto the floor. Sit back and walk your hands back a foot behind you. Camel preparation. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders open. If this is too much on your knees or your ankles, you can just sit with your feet out in front of you and practice reverse plank. Whichever one you're doing, see if you can lift the hips up, keeping the heart lifted. Lower your hips back down. Come back up, and we'll do camel preparation next. With your hands on your hips, spin the inner thighs back just like we practiced. Curl your back toes under. Now feel your hamstrings and your glutes turn on. Scoop up your belly, start to roll your heart up towards the ceiling. Hold here for 5 breaths, or if you feel like you have the upper back flexibility, and you could just lean back and put your hands on your heels, go ahead. But I want you to make sure that you're not sinking into your lower back. You're creating a lift. So you're creating space for the disc in your lower back so they get healthier. Then come back up and step your right foot out to the side. Point the left toes back. Spread your arms out. Then bring your right forearm onto your thigh. Take your left arm and slide the hand behind the head. Modify gate latch pose. Inhale back up, change sides. Inhale, come back up. Then from here, lie down onto your back. Bring your legs up into tabletop position. Stretch your hips evenly out of your back. Keep your ribs in and your low abs in. Push your right heel forward and lower the legs slowly so it's just about an inch above the floor. But make sure that your right lower belly doesn't pop up to the ceiling. Change sides. Change sides. And keep going side to side here. If you have the hamstring flexibility too, extend the top leg. Then bring both legs up, whether the knees are bent or the legs are straight, and lower the thigh bones away from you a third of the way, keeping your low abs tucked in. Lower another third of the way, abs in. Lower a little bit deeper if you can keep the abs in, and bring the legs straight back up. Again, lower a third of the way, another third of the way, little deeper, back up. Again, slowly lower, a little bit deeper, A little bit deeper, abs stay in. Bring your legs up. Then roll yourself up to seated and come up into boat pose. Let's do twisting boat pose. So bring your hands behind your head, and as you exhale, left elbow to the right knee, push your left leg, change sides. And keep going side to side here. And then hold, put your hands next to your hips, and pretend like you're stirring a pot now with your feet. Keep your abs tucked in, lower belly especially, and then change directions. Good, and then sit in Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees wide apart. Open up your chest as you sit tall. I can't tell if this sequence got hard or if it's just hot as hell in here, which is the trick with hot yoga. That's not even really, that's a trick. Hot yoga, that's just do regular yoga. You don't need to go in a hot room. Okay, let's start to fold forward. And come back up. Lie down onto your back. Lift your hips up for supported bridge pose. Hold here. If you like to practice Urdhva Dhanurasana, you're welcome to do that. Then lift your hips up, lower your buttocks to the floor, open your arms out to the side, and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Slowly let your legs fall over to the left, keeping your right shoulder open and heavy onto the floor. Change sides. Come back to center and stretch your legs out for shavasana, corpse pose. So just let your body start to drop into the mat. Let your hands relax, your feet relax. Visualize your breath like a wave as you exhale, traveling down past your feet and away from you. And with each exhalation that rolls down your body, let go of any grips or tension that you're still holding in the body. Just let it wash down past your feet and away from you. Any worries or concerns that are pulling you out of the present, as they pop up, just let them travel down past your feet and away from you as you breathe out. Although it seems very simple, being present and practicing mindful breathing is also one of the most profound spiritual practices. And now staying connected to the healing energy that you find when you're present, when you're fully present. Bend your knees and roll over to your right side. Press yourself up to seated. Be conscious of the way that you place your palms together, of how you're sitting. Feel the flow of the breath again. And we'll take this conscious presence to the best we can throughout the rest of the day, one moment at a time. Thank you. Namaste. All right, so if you enjoyed learning about the legs today and the hips, leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Also, let me know what you want to see next week, if there's any other themes or poses or ideas. In last week's video, somebody asked for a back bend one, so we're going to film one of those pretty soon. Be on the lookout for it, and I really appreciate your guys' feedback and support. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and like the video if you enjoyed it. See you next time. Have a great day.